what's going on, y'all? T-Bob here.
And Jake as well.
And you're about to watch a little OTB LSU.
We're going to give you all the latest, greatest between LSU football, baseball, women's basketball, softball, and everything in between.
Bottom line, if you want to talk Tigers, keep it locked, subscribe, like it, and we hope you enjoy it. Do you want to hear something insane that I found in a random ESPN article yesterday? I think it was about playoff teams that have seen their playoffs hopes dissipate completely and how it's all gone so wrong. So, of course, LSU led the list.
Right.
LSU's offense during their 6-game win streak averaged 36.5 points per game. And the 3 games since, it's been 17.3 points per game. They're 102nd in the country in sacks per drop back. 7%, 7% sack rate per drop back. They're 100th in average air yards. Remember we said everything feels very east or west?
Yeah.
The average air yards per throw, that's how far the ball travels, downfield in the air. 3.3 yards. 100th in the country. So you have truly been flattened. But here is the stat that if you thought it felt like pulling teeth as of late, this will exactly explain why, and is also mind-bogglingly bad in terms of how did you go from so great to here?
Yeah.
They are 122nd in the country over that stretch. And their percentage of plays gaining 0 or negative yards. What do you think the percentage of plays is right now that's gaining 0 or negative yards?
Oh, my gosh. Since you said it like this.
Yeah, I mean, I set it up to be pretty extreme, right? So,
8.
8%?
8.
Okay, what about you, Taylor?
10.
Okay. 39%.
Oh, my God.
39%. 39% of the plays are gaining
I guess I wasn't thinking
0, an incomplete
incompletion.
0, yeah, right? 0 or negative yards. So if it's felt grindy, if it's felt like there's a lack of rhythm, if it's felt just god-awful, it's because you're right under a coin flip and any given play as to whether or not you gain positive yardage. And I understand it's not a stat we talk about normally. So what's the context? The context is you're 122nd out of what, Jake? 134?
Yeah.
135, somewhere around there. 134. Yeah. That is unreal for an offense that over the first 6 games was quite literally a top 5 offense in the entire country. It is not just slowed. It has imploded. And I mean the literal definition of implode. It's gone full Titan submersible, the offense has. It has been crushed into nothing. And I don't know how they're going to pull out. I mean, we'll play the clip, but Kelly talked about his press conference yesterday. He was asked about maybe Nuss holding on to the ball some, and he's talking about how, he's intentionally trying to take care of the ball, and he's coming to the sideline saying maybe I could have seen this, but I'm trying to take care of the ball. And it's just to me, I hear that. I'm yeah, I mean, I could see that. He's hesitant. He doesn't trust himself. You have that clip? All right, here is Coach Kelly talking about Nuss's decision-making, kind of holding on to the ball.
I thought he was extremely intentional about his actions, in terms of taking care of the football. And he would say that to me coming off the field. Maybe I could have done this, but I was very intentional about making sure we took great care of the football. Look, he is in the midst of this continuous improvement in the pocket. And I think he's doing a really nice job. There's room for growth there. And the great part about it is he's up for it. He wants to get better in this first year of being a starter, and I'm excited about coaching him. I know everybody that is with Garrett has a guy that is totally committed to being better and better each week.
I don't know about you, Jake. I don't like that. That doesn't sound good to me.
Which part of it?
I mean, that you can call it he's being intentional, but what I'm hearing, and we kind of knew this. I mean, this is what we said, but what I'm hearing is. He doesn't trust his reads right now. He doesn't trust himself. The picks have freaked him out, and the coaches have got to help him get through that. And I would hope that they too are not panicking, and that they would be empowering him the same way they did Jaden Daniels a couple of years ago. Now, Jaden had the opposite problem. He was way too conservative, and they had to kind of coax him out of that. But, I mean, I hope they kind of coax Nuss back out of this, right? Into taking some risks into trusting himself. I know it's got you in trouble, but it's also your best chance for success.
Yeah, I don't think you
Otherwise, you're going to be paralyzed by inaction.
Yeah, you don't want to take away the instinct to go make a play. And that's kind of what you're doing a little bit. He didn't have really bad decisions until much later in the season. He trusted his preparation. He trusted his eyes and trusted kind of the process of the offense. And then you had a game in which you kind of threw it up because you became one-dimensional, and it is what it is. But I don't think you want to get to a point where it's like you're second-guessing taking a risk and making a play.
Yeah.
Like you still have to trust your read. You have to trust your eyes. I mean, cover three's cover three. Cover one's cover one.
I mean, do you feel like hypothetically right now would Nuss rip those Ole Miss throws that he did that game? Even like the one to Xavier Thomas that wasn't a touchdown that was, right?
Oh,
like,
yeah, right.
Like all of those.
No.
Like I don't feel with how his confidence level right now, I don't feel like he's ripping that.
I mean, the Aaron Anderson throw was the outlier probably in the Florida game.
Yeah.
Like that's the throw that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Anticipating where he's going to be, knowing he wanted to take a hit.
He stepped up in the pocket.
Yes. Like that's what you're talking about. And you were getting those consistently.
Yeah.
I mean, you got some of those in the South Carolina game certainly as well. Think about the one he hit Lacey late in the game.
Oof.
Last year, I've on the sideline where he threw that ball to where Lacey was when he let it go.
Yeah, and again, I still believe in Garrett Nussmeier, especially long term. This is what people have to understand. You can tell me that he's old and all this other stuff, but a first year starter is a first year starter, and you kind of heard Kelly allude to that. By definition, Jake, when it's your first full year of starting. There's a rhythm to the season, right? And there's ups and downs, things wax and wane. You're locked in, you're kicking ass, you're doing awful, your confidence is at a low. Like when you're in your second year, you've been through it, you can handle that better, right? You learn how to handle that better. Maybe you don't let the ups get you so high, you don't let the downs get you so low. When you're in your third year, everything's slowed down. It's old hat at that point. So like, he could be fifth year seat, whatever, but if it's his first year starting, this is his first time ever experiencing the week-to-week rhythm of being a starter and the ups and downs that come with a full season of major college football. And so this is like, he's had great games when we've seen him come in.
Yeah.
But he's never had to deal with a slump. He's like a hitter. So like right now, he's having to figure out, okay, how do I respond to a slump and how do I find myself? And so, no, I'm not surprised that process is taking some time. I will say that I bet on Garrett Nussmeier to get it figured out and then be better for it in the end and be better able to handle it in the future. But ultimately, that's going to be up to him over a long period of time to prove me right or wrong there.
Yeah, and I think when you take a look at 3 weeks ago, I mean, he has a real opportunity to try to go to the next level after this one singular season of being the starter. I don't know that that's the case anymore. And that's not like a slight on him. I mean, it's very difficult. Bill Parcells was famous for, saying if I draft a quarterback, he better have at least 2 years as a starter. He did not want to draft somebody that just came in, started 1 year. He wanted to see them go through the suck and go through some ups and downs and having to find their way out of it. So I do think it's kind of changed that perspective for him, which, for LSU fans, you should be excited about that.
Adversity reveals the man, and that applies to, not just us, a lot of individuals and what they're going through on this team. I mean, LouisianaSports.net had an article yesterday looking at PFF grades, and Whit Weeks came in as the lowest graded player on the team.
Yeah.
I mean, to my film review, admittedly, I didn't think about it as being that egregious, but he never showed up. He was just a complete non-factor the entire game, right? And that's, again, I mean, take me back to Arkansas and Taylon Green and that play that he made where he's leading the SEC in tackles. So he, too, is going through it. The list goes on and on with guys who are adversity reveals the man. Individually, what are you going to do? And then as a team, what are you going to do? We're going to see because already You're in a bit of a death spiral here. And it would be all too easy to give up and just see what happens. And we're going to know if Kelly has this locker room or not based on how this team responds and how this team plays. Wow, Jake, what incredible takes.
I mean, those guys, they're just the best.
I think so. And if you think so, again, hit the like button, subscribe, ring the bell so you get notifications when we post every single day here on OTB LSU.